Hey, Budget Seed here. Close your eyes for a second and picture this. It's 3 a.m. Your phone won't stop buzzing with collection calls. And you're staring at $30,000 in credit card debt that feels like it's suffocating you. Your heart's racing, you're dodging bills, and you're thinking, how did I even get here? And is there any way out? That was me 4 years ago. Buried under a pile of bad debt. Feeling like I'd never see daylight. But here's the truth. I climbed out of that hole. And I'm standing here today to tell you that you can too. In this video, I'm breaking down **5 proven steps to overcome bad debt**, not just theories, but the exact steps that took me from drowning in $30,000 of debt to financial freedom. These are practical, actionable, and designed to work for you, no matter how deep you're in. If you're ready to take back control of your life, smash that like button right now. Drop a debt-free 2025 in the comments, and let's dive into this journey together. Let's kick things off with step 1. Face your debt head on. I know this sounds like the scariest thing in the world. When I was in debt, I'd let bills pile up on my kitchen counter, pretending they didn't exist. I'd tell myself, I'll deal with it later. But later never came, and the interest kept growing. Ignoring your debt is like ignoring a toothache. It only gets worse. So, here's what I did to break that cycle. I set aside one Sunday afternoon, grabbed a notebook, a strong cup of coffee, and listed every single debt I owed. I had $18,000 on a Discover credit card at 21% interest, $7,000 on a Best Buy card at 25%, $3,500 in medical bills from a hospital stay, and $2,500 I owed my sister for a loan. Writing it all down felt like staring into the abyss, but it also gave me clarity. For the first time, I wasn't running from the numbers, I was facing them. Here's how you can do it. Grab a piece of paper, open a Google Sheet, or use an app like Evernote. Write down every debt, who you owe, the total amount, the interest rate, and the minimum monthly payment. Don't skip anything, even that $100 you owe your coworker. If you're not sure about the details, check your online accounts or call your creditors. A 2023 study by the Federal Reserve found that 68% of Americans with high credit card debt avoid reviewing their balances. And that avoidance delays payoff by an average of 2 years. Facing your debt is like stepping on a scale when you're trying to lose weight. You need to know the starting point to make a plan. Let me give you a real example. My friend Maria was terrified to look at her debt. She had $22,000 spread across 3 credit cards and a car loan. When she finally sat down and listed everything, she realized her highest interest rate was 26% on a $5,000 card. That one card was eating up $100 a month in interest alone. Seeing that number lit a fire under her. She wasn't just fighting debt, she was fighting a money-eating monster. If you're feeling scared, that's normal. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is the first step to freedom. Once you have your list, you'll feel a shift. You're not just a victim anymore, you're a strategist. Drop a comment below if you've ever avoided opening a bill, or if you're committing to make your debt list this week. I want to cheer you on. Now, let's move to step 2. Stop the bleeding. Bad debt grows because we keep adding to it. And I was the king of this mistake. Even when I was broke, I'd swipe my credit card for essentials like takeout, concert tickets, or a new jacket. Spoiler alert, those weren't essentials. To get out of debt, you have to stop digging the hole deeper. The first move? Freeze your spending. Cut up your credit cards or hide them where you can't get to them. I stuck mine in a Ziploc bag in my freezer, literally putting my bad habits on ice. Don't cancel the cards, because that can hurt your credit score, but make them impossible to use. Next, you need a bare-bones budget. Pull up your bank account and look at your monthly income. Cover the must-haves: rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, and minimum debt payments. Everything else gets paused. No streaming subscriptions, no dining out, no impulse buys on Amazon. I used a free app called Mint to track every penny. And it was like giving my money a curfew. Let me tell you about Sarah, a single mom I know who was sinking in $20,000 of debt. She canceled her Disney Plus, switched to a $25 prepaid phone plan, and started cooking meals at home instead of ordering Uber Eats. In 1 month, she saved $450. That's $450 she wasn't paying in interest or adding to her debt. Here's how to make your budget. List your income, say $3,000 a month. Then list your essentials: $1,000 for rent, $200 for utilities, $300 for groceries, $200 for gas, and $500 for minimum debt payments. That's $2,200, leaving $800. Don't spend that $800 on fun stuff. Use it to attack your debt, which we'll cover in step 3. If you're not sure where your money's going, check your bank statement. I was shocked to see I spent $150 a month on coffee shops. Cutting that saved me $1,800 a year. Here's a challenge. Look at your last month's expenses and find one thing you can cut. Like that gym membership you forgot about. Drop it in the comments. I'm dying to know what you'll pick. This step isn't about deprivation. It's about prioritizing your future over temporary pleasures. Step 3. Choose a debt payoff strategy. This is where you go from defense to offense. You're not just surviving, you're fighting back. There are 2 main strategies, and both work like a charm. The first is the Debt Snowball. You focus on your smallest debt first. Pay it off. Then roll that payment into the next smallest debt. It's all about quick wins to keep you motivated. I used this to tackle my $3,500 medical bill. I paid $500 a month, $100 minimum plus $400 extra, and cleared it in 7 months. Seeing that zero balance was like a shot of adrenaline. It made me believe I could keep going. The second strategy is the Debt Avalanche. Here, you target the debt with the highest interest rate first, because that's what's costing you the most. My Discover card had a 21% interest rate, costing me $315 a month in interest alone. After my Snowball win, I switched to the Avalanche and threw everything at that card. The Avalanche saves you more money over time, but it can feel slower if your high-interest debt is big. Let's break it down with an example. Say you have 3 debts: $5,000 at 20% interest, $3,000 at 15%, and $1,000 at 10%. With the Snowball, you'd pay the $1,000 first, then $3,000, then $5,000. With the Avalanche, you'd hit the $5,000 first, then $3,000, then $1,000. A free debt calculator, like the one on NerdWallet, link in the description, can show you which saves you more time or money. Here's how to execute either plan. Pay the minimum on all your debts except the one you're targeting. Then throw every extra dollar at that one debt. Got a $50 tax refund? Debt. Sold an old couch for $100? Debt. My cousin Maria used the Snowball to pay off a $2,000 store card in 5 months. She took the $400 she was paying on that card and rolled it into her next debt, a $6,000 car loan. By the end of year 1, she'd cleared 2 debts. A 2024 study showed 62% of Americans who paid off debt used a structured plan like these. You don't need to be rich, just disciplined. Which strategy sounds like your vibe? Snowball or Avalanche? Drop it in the comments, and let's get this debt payoff party started. Step 4. Boost your income. I know you're probably rolling your eyes, thinking, Finn, I'm already working 40 hours a week. I hear you. When I was in debt, I was exhausted too. But here's the deal. Even a little extra income can shave years off your debt. When I started, I picked up weekend shifts driving for Uber, making $600 a month. That went straight to my Discover card, cutting my payoff time by a year. You don't have to drive. There are endless ways to make extra cash in 2025. If you've got skills, try freelancing. Are you good at writing, graphic design, or social media? Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr can connect you with clients. My buddy Mike, a teacher, started editing videos on Fiverr and made $1,200 a month part-time. No skills? Sell stuff you don't need. I sold an old laptop and a pair of sneakers on eBay for $350, which paid off a chunk of my medical bill. Other ideas: deliver for DoorDash, tutor kids on Varsity Tutors, or walk dogs through Rover. My neighbor Lisa started pet sitting on weekends and made $400 a month, all going to her student loans. Let's talk about a guy named Jake, who was buried in $25,000 of credit card and medical debt. He started a side hustle selling custom t-shirts on Etsy, using a print-on-demand service so he didn't need inventory. Within 6 months, he was making $800 a month, enough to pay off his smallest debt and start on the next. You don't need to go big. Even $100 a week can make a difference. Say you owe $10,000 at 20% interest. Adding $100 a week to your payments could save you $2,000 in interest and cut your payoff time by a year. Here's a challenge. This month, find one way to make an extra $200 and put it toward your debt. Maybe sell that old gaming console or pick up a few hours babysitting. Drop your side hustle idea in the comments. I'm stealing the best ones for myself. If you want more side hustle tips, I've got a whole playlist on making extra cash. Check it out in the description. This step is about hustle, but it's also about hope. Every dollar you earn is a step closer to freedom. Step 5. Stay motivated and seek help. Paying off debt is a long game, and there will be days when you want to quit. I hit rock bottom when my car broke down, and I had to borrow $500 to fix it. I was so tempted to put it on my credit card, but I didn't, thanks to the systems I built. Here's how to stay in the fight. First, celebrate every win, no matter how small. When I paid off my $3,500 medical bill, I treated myself to a $5 pizza slice, not a $500 shopping spree. When I cleared my $7,000 Best Buy card, I took a day trip to the beach. Those rewards kept me going. Track your progress to see how far you've come. I used a free app called Debt Payoff Planner, but you can also make a paper chart and color in each payment. Watching that balance drop is like watching a video game score go up. Another trick: find accountability. I told my sister about my debt payoff plan, and she'd text me like, "Finn, you still on track?" That kept me honest. You can find free support online too. The R Personal Finance subreddit has 18 million members sharing debt payoff stories, tips, and encouragement. I read a post there from a woman who paid off $40,000 in 3 years. It blew my mind and kept me motivated. If you're feeling stuck, don't be afraid to get professional help. Nonprofit credit counselors, like those at the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can lower your interest rates or set up affordable payment plans. I called one when I was overwhelmed, and they got my credit card interest down from 21% to 8%. That saved me $200 a month. Stay away from for-profit debt settlement companies. They often charge 20% of your debt in fees and can leave you worse off. In 2024, 1.5 million Americans used nonprofit credit counseling, and it's a legit way to get back on track. Here's a story to inspire you. My friend Carlos had $28,000 in debt, credit cards, a car loan, and some old utility bills. He felt like a failure, especially as a dad. He joined a local debt support group through his church, and they helped him create a payoff plan. 2 years later, he's down to $5,000 and says he's never felt prouder. Community makes a difference. If you don't have a group, start one in the comments. Share your debt total or your first step, and let's cheer each other on. The biggest mindset shift? Forgive yourself. Bad debt doesn't define you. Maybe you maxed out your cards during a layoff, like I did. Maybe you bought stuff to feel better during a tough time. We've all been there. What matters is you're here now, taking action. You're not your mistakes. You're someone building a brighter future. If you're feeling discouraged, drop a comment with what's holding you back. Let's tackle it together. Budget Seed fam. Let's recap the *** 5 steps to overcome bad debt. First, face your debt head-on by listing every penny you owe. Second, stop the bleeding with a no-spend budget. Third, choose a payoff strategy, Snowball for quick wins or Avalanche to save money. Fourth, boost your income with a side hustle. Fifth, stay motivated with small wins, support, and forgiveness. These steps took me from $30,000 in debt to zero in 3 years. They're not magic, they're work. But they work. Budget Seed fam. I'm Finn, and I'm in your corner. If I can go from dodging collection calls to financial freedom, you can too. Drop a comment with which step you're starting with, or just say, Debt-Free 2025, to claim your goal. If this video helped, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Share it with a friend who's struggling with debt, because we're stronger together. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon for weekly money tips to grow your budget seed. Want more? Check out my video on budgeting hacks for beginners. Links in the description. Let's keep this debt-crushing energy going. See you in the next one.